So this leads me to my first study tip for successful preparation of a test. I can't wait to open it and start playing Pokopia. Guys, I think the library is closing. There are a lot more summaries. Good morning, guys. I have a bit of a busy day today because I have a lot of catching up to do in terms of school. I have a midterm coming up. Sorry, this is a better angle. I feel like before you could barely hear me, but I have a lot that I want to do today in preparation for my midterm, and then I also have class. And school has honestly been going pretty decently, so I feel like I want to share a lot more of my study tips too, because I feel like after 3 years of pharmacy school, I have finally found the study techniques that work for me and are getting me really good grades. So yeah, I'm going to finish making this matcha and then we can go to class. Is literally so good. We need to head to class. Guys, the amount of work that I have cut out for me is not even funny. Am I behind on a week's worth of lectures? Like, apparently. Before we can do any reviewing, we need to learn the content. So any asynchronous lectures you should get out of the way first. The ones I have are not low yield topics, so I'm definitely prioritizing getting them done now. The topic that I'm working on right now, I'm about 60% of the way done. So this leads me to my first study tip for successful preparation of a test or a final. I always write down every topic that we're expected to know or what's going to be covered on the exam, just so I have a big picture of everything and so nothing gets left out during the cram. Just watched videos for the last 2 hours, I think. I finished the first 2 things off of my to-do list, and then I actually looked ahead for this week what we're going to be learning, and there is so much, you guys. I need to freaking pick it up. So my plan is to get through 80% of the content that was taught last week today, because I've already learned it and I just need to kind of organize the content and then be able to run through it. So this would be my first pass of review, and I like to do at least 4 to 5, if not more, passes of all the lectures before I write any test. So I'll show you the mind map that I have right now. So this is literally just one lecture that I imported, and I always put little boxes around the things that are important and then try to break it down by learning objective, which your prof will give you. This one looks pretty sparse right now. There's not a lot of text. They're just slides. And usually I can tell if I've reviewed if there's a little text box beside a slide, which means I just turned it into my own words. This is a mind map that I did for my most recent test. You can see it's way more dense, and I tried to also organize everything by topic, and then there are a lot more summaries underneath each slide for treatment. This was lung cancer. I tried to break it down by all the different stages and the treatment options, and then this is stage 4, which also need to be broken down by type of treatment you're going to do. And then in colorectal cancer, it was kind of the same treatment for stage 0 to 3, so I just put it all in one section and not after each slide. So this is just kind of how I summarized each slide. And so when I'm quizzing with friends or just reviewing in my own time, not necessarily doing a full pass of the content, I'll just read my little summary notes, because sometimes the slides will have just a lot of background or context that you need to understand, but you don't need to know it word for word for the assessment. This was my mind map for 4 lectures that I did on my most recent midterm, and this is literally just one lecture from this week. So I have a lot of building and reviewing to do, so let's get into it. If you guys are like me and you struggle waking up in the morning, I highly recommend you put on old BTS if you're ARMY, because I swear that stuff just gets you right up. I don't know, it's just really been helping me lately. Okay guys, my morning routine is just about done, but I want to show you my pill bottles that I've bedazzled recently. And this is actually something I want to share with you guys a little bit more. So far in 2026, I've gotten a lot better with taking my daily medication. I take something for my ADHD plus a multivitamin. And I think I mentioned this in a video last summer, but I was diagnosed back in high school, but I only started trialing medication last year for a few reasons. One being I no longer found my ADHD to be manageable with just therapy alone. And the other reason being my doctor is so incredibly hard to get a hold of. And I know I'm not the only one to deal with that. Like every single time I've called her office, I get sent straight to voicemail. And so I leave 2 to 3 voicemails at the very least asking to make an appointment. And then I'll get a call to book one, and then I will actually get an appointment. And by the time I even go through all of that, I feel like I have more issues, or I forget the issue that I even had to start, and it's just exhausting. Like something that should be simple ends up being this whole entire process, so you almost don't even want to deal with it. So this really had me thinking there has to be an easier way to see a doctor, let alone make an appointment. And that is where ZocDoc comes in, which is the sponsor of this video. ZocDoc is a free website where you can find and book in-network doctors. There are over 150,000 providers across 50 states and 200 plus specialties. There's primary care, dermatology, dentistry, eye care, mental health, almost anything that you need. So no matter what you're dealing with, you can actually find someone for it. You can search by specialty or even by symptom, filter by your insurance, and browse thousands of verified patient reviews so you actually know who you're booking with before you show up. So you're not just guessing or like hoping for the best. You can actually feel good about who you were choosing, and you can do in-person or video visits depending on whatever works for you, which makes it way easier to fit into your life instead of you working your entire schedule around it. Finally, when you find someone that you like, you can see their real-time availability and book instantly. There's no phone calls, no back and forth, and there's no waiting around. And appointments typically happen within 24 to 72 hours. Sometimes you may even be able to get the same day. So instead of putting it off again, you can actually get it handled. And the reason why I'm saying this is because mental wellness is just as important as physical wellness. I know it may seem small, but just by clicking my link, ZocDoc.com/Breanna Quan, you can book your appointment with a top-rated doctor today. So make sure to check out my link, ZocDoc.com/Breanna Quan, or visit the link in my description box below to make an appointment. Just take a minute, get it scheduled. You feel a lot better once you do. So again, thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring today's video and for helping us all take better care of our health. Okay guys, I have the girls over to study right now. Liz studying. Jaden is really locked in on the counter, but I just got something super exciting in the mail, and guys, I have to open this. I have been completely influenced by the launch of Pokopia. I have seen so much gameplay and all the people building. I decided to sell my Switch 1 so that I could justify buying the Switch 2. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to open it and start playing Pokopia. And this is also my birthday gift to myself. Hopefully there are no issues with this or anything, so I can just keep it. And then I'm also gonna get like the different accessories for the Joy-Cons. I've seen online there's like little gibbets, and people always decorate like the back of the Switch with stickers. So that is my plan too. And just for size comparison, this is my Switch 1. It's the OLED edition, and this is the difference. And these are the 2 wrist straps for the Joy-Cons. This is the controller for the Joy-Cons. This is the charging cable. I am so excited about it. Hey guys, I've been at the library for the last couple of hours, and I actually had lab in the morning, and I'm going to be doing some like self-care activities later, so I just wanted to like lock in before all of that. And so right now I'm in the middle of studying for my midterm, and I wanted to share with you guys how I actually like organize everything. So for me, before any midterm, there's always like a list of like all the topics that you need to do that you're going to have to cover, and then if your prof is nice, they'll usually give you like the types of questions that they're going to ask, multiple choice, short answer, or like fill in the blanks. So what I like to do is try to learn each topic super thoroughly before moving on to the next, so that I am not spending as much time like trying to go back and understand things. And so for this midterm, I learned the first topic, which was HIV, and it's kind of taught in like treatment algorithm way, and so I just try to study it the same way. So I figured out all of the diagnostic criteria, different tests, who's treatment naive, like what is the definition of that, and then what are the treatment options and like the caveats for each of like the drugs. And so I just studied that for like 3 days, and then so now I've moved on to hepatitis, and it's the same thing. I'm like taking it like step by step, like each specific one, like A, B, C, and D. And then I'm gonna move on to learning like ESLD, which is like end stage liver disease, because I think it's like one of the shorter decks, or it'll be like incorporated into the other questions. And so now I'm at the stage of like combining the conditions, so like HIV and hepatitis. So if someone has both, I need to consider like the treatment options for HIV and then hepatitis, and then like if there's certain drugs, I will like cover both of them. And like you have to think about these more complex cases for the assessment. But I feel like a lot of the times in pharmacy school, they're asking you to apply like concepts and it not just be like memorizing like one algorithm for like one person, because I'm spending less time like going back and forth between topics. I know I felt in the past that it's probably better to like skim all the content like multiple times, which you obviously want to do as well, and that's why I do Anki too. But I think if you're staying on top of your coursework and you're not necessarily cramming, then it's much better to go in order and like super in depth and those components. And because these two topics have a ton of new drugs that I've never seen before, I actually did the medicinal chemistry for it, so then I could understand like their mechanisms of action, so then it's easier for me to like understand the drug classes. But yeah, that's what I've been studying. I feel like doing it in this order has really helped my application skills. Hopefully that's helpful, and I'm gonna go back to studying, and then I'm gonna take like the afternoon off. Okay, how much do you think your bowl is? $40. Liz.
15, 20, 15.
Girl!
Okay, 20, 20. 20.
Jaden.
I'll put 22.
I think mine's 30. Hey guys, I literally have been home in like 12 hours, actually more than 12 hours. It's 9:30 now, and I had lab at 8:30, and it was a graded lab this week. So keep your fingers crossed for me that that went okay. I am not super confident in all the components of that lab. I definitely failed one of the stations, and it's annoying because I fail at same station every single freaking time, and I always like try really hard. But anyways, we'll see how it goes. But as you guys saw, I did attend a vision board like activity that was hosted by the School of Pharmacy, and you guys know I love my crafts and I find them really therapeutic, so this was a must, and mostly just has travel on it, and then like that I need to eat more fiber. But now it is time to genuinely lock in, because I spent most of the day just doing self-care activities, which is needed during exams. But yeah, now I need to get on my to-do list. So I plan to just build out my mind map this evening. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna get started on now. I don't think I would told you guys this, but this is literally my daily breakfast whenever I'm at the pharmacy school, because I feel like I never have time to actually make a breakfast unless it's a yogurt bowl, and so I just eat Cliff Bars even though they always taste like cardboard or like styrofoam. I'm literally going home because the library closed. They were like flicking the light on and off, telling us to go home, and I felt so bad, but I was so locked in. But anyways, I left on time because I wasn't gonna freaking sleep over there. It's like April showers is gonna bring May flowers, which would maybe make me feel better because I just spent 30 years at the library and now I'm gonna go home and probably spend another 50 years studying. Guys, I can't wait for this semester to be over. I will say though, the BTS album, the new one, Airy Rings, fire! And this video is probably gonna go up after my sister's birthday. I bought her and I tickets for BTS because we've all been stans for so freaking long. It's not even funny. Like,